Empire actor Jussie Smollett has been making the headlines since he reported on January 29th that he was attacked by two men who yelled out racist and homophobic slurs. Since that time, there has been speculation that the attack may have been staged. As of this taping, Smollett maintains his story is true.
That's right. Also making the headlines out of Virginia, Governor Ralph Northam acknowledged he appeared in a racist photo in his 1984 medical school yearbook. Joining us now to discuss these topics is TV personality Jilea Hemmings. Jilea, how are you? Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
We both went in for it.
Two handshakes at once, right?
All right, so a lot to unpack here.
Yes.
You're from Chicago. You live there right now.
Absolutely.
What is the sentiment going on with Jussie Smollett right now? Because that was sort of the first thing we talked
Right.
about this morning.
Right.
Absolutely.
What's the vibe there?
So, I mean, when everyone first heard the news, like we were all,
Shocked.
shocked
Yeah.
and taken back, right? I mean, Chicago's a great city, and to hear something as hateful as that occur to anyone is just, really horrible. But now we've been hearing all these other new facts that are coming out, and we're all wondering, like, is this all true? We're hoping that it's not true, right?
Right.
Because, Chicago's a great city, and to see what's happening, we were all like everyone else. I think everybody was just so taken back, just knowing what our history is, knowing, what all of that really meant.
Right.
I mean, and to now hear that could potentially not be what we thought has been really tough.
So what do you think was his, I want to say motivation, I don't know if that's the right word to use, but what do you think, what made him, is it a concocted story? We really don't know quite well until we get all the facts.
Right.
But
I mean, I don't think any of us know, right? I mean, I would hate to say that it's a concocted story. I mean,
Right.
I really can't speak on what would make him do something or say
Right.
something that isn't true.
Okay.
But what I can say is that, he utilized a lot of, I guess, talking points or statements that are really important to our culture, right? And our
Right.
history of, what our ancestors and so forth have actually gone through and the struggle that they've gone through and what they fought for, that I don't know how you could take that and make
Right.
a lie out of it. You know what I mean?
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
that would just be so heavy.
Right.
I'm
I know.
hoping that what he said is what it was, and
Right.
that we're not going to find out it's not true.
See, this is what I find to be so difficult, right? Because it's like we're hoping this hate crime happened, which sounds horrible to say, but at the same time, it also legitimizes other people who are actually going through it. I mean, I've been hate crime for being gay before in my hometown, and it's horrible experience, and you want to get the awareness out there. And I think it's tough to have these conversations, but if it does prove to be a hoax, let's just say hypothetically, as of right now, we don't know,
Right.
what's the biggest lesson I think that we can learn from this?
I mean, anyone should never take serious hate and hurt and turn it into a story, right? Like,
Right.
Real experiences. You just spoke about how you've gone through it. I've experienced racial hate before, and it's not fun. It doesn't make us feel good, and the point is that how can you use that as, for, I don't know, ratings, for review. I don't know what would cause you to feel like that's what you're supposed to do. How could you make something this horrible
It's
up?
horrible.
Right.
Make it up.
You can't make this up. You
Jilea,
can't.
why is it that we are in 2019 and we can't seem to get this straight? Why is it so difficult for people to understand this? I mean, it's just appalling to me. Right, we need to really start focusing on these issues.
Right, absolutely. I don't know why it's so hard for people to have empathy for others. You don't have to go through the same thing that somebody else went through to actually have feelings and care for them. I just think there just needs to be more love. Like, we're so into our bubbles that we don't really realize what's going on in the world, and we are not empathetic. But it's just that we need to have more empathy.
And what is your take on Virginia governor now? Switching gears to the 1984 high school picture. I don't want to say it was a different time. I mean, this was 30 plus years ago.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
The moonwalker, I call it.
That's so good.
Right.
I mean,
Do you think he should be fired? What are your thoughts on it?
I feel that he should be held to the same standard. I know that the people of Virginia feel that, what, you rather know what you know and know who you're dealing with, and they're like,
Know your enemy.
Right, know your enemy, keep him in office and so forth. But I do feel like there needs to be some form of repercussion, right? How long are we going to allow for this to just kind of be like swept under the rug? I mean, he knew what he was doing. It wasn't like, he can't say he didn't know what he was doing was wrong, right?
Of course.
Right.
But on the same token, everyone's young. Everybody makes mistakes in life, right? We've all done things when we were younger that obviously nobody would want to come out, right? And so now that he's in this stage of the game, I've heard that he's done a lot of good for this, the state of Virginia. So it's a tough thing. I mean, in a short order, I feel like there should be some form of training involved. Like they
Right.
need, they need to
Right.
understand, or maybe some history lessons involved. But
I do hope a lesson can be learned, though, both
Yeah.
with Jussie and both
Exactly.
with the governor. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I don't want to just sweep it under the rug and be like, okay, you're silenced, you don't
Exactly.
have an opinion.
Right,
I do
right,
want
right.
it to be like, what did you learn from this?
Right.
Why is this bad? You know what I mean?
I feel like just for Jussie, he has to be able to come out and say what caused him. Like there has to be
Exactly.
some kind of cause
They-
that would
they-
make you say this.
Exactly.
I mean, it's going to be very hard for him in the future to move forward if he doesn't come out and say, because for all of us, and like, how could you?
It'll be a
You know,
career
these
ender for him, you know.
individuals
Yeah,
have
I think it
they
will
have-
be.
They have a platform, and they have a responsibility to come out and set the record straight. That's just my opinion.
Right.
Anybody that's an elected official or any of that, they should come out and really just talk about the topics, because a lot of them they just don't want to deal with it, which is, I think it's wrong. I think it's definitely
they
wrong.
both did come. I mean, didn't Jesse go on Good Morning? He was with
They
Robert
did,
Roberts,
yes.
right?
It was on ABC, absolutely.
He did. But I mean, I think the fact that everything's sort of coming out now, see, that's the thing too, is like, we want to believe everything that happens
Right.
and we want to have empathy for all these people. But when we
course.
reverse that track and we find out if it's not real,
Right.
we all feel duped in some sort of way.
Right.
And then
Yes.
it's like, no one feels safe to feel empathy or not. It's such
Right.
an odd time.
Right. I
Right,
mean,
right.
and the other thing is, I mean, I don't know if someone else was hurt, like why, I don't know why they would be negating it. Maybe that's another
Right.
question
Yeah,
too. Like
exactly.
what
Exactly.
what made them say,
Yeah.
this isn't true,
Right,
right? Like
this sounds weird.
Right. So I mean, there's two sides to every story. I mean,
That is absolutely
as
right.
I say, I hope that it's true, because I would like to see him do well and continue to
Of
succeed.
course,
And I think
of
this could
course.
really be a career limiting move for him. But
We're in a time where you gotta say and hope it happens.
you gotta
and it's
hope,
bad.
right? But he's gonna have a lot of explaining to do. And at least the Virginia governor came out and said that,
At least he owned up to it.
Right. He's like, I don't know which one is me. I'm like, all right.
We're
well,
in
We're
interesting
definitely out of
times.
time,
Right.
but it
Thank
was a
you
great
so
topic.
much for
Thank
coming
you
back.
for
Really
staying on.
appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it. Okay, guys.
When we return, we have wonderful tips on how to get in shape just like the celebrities, ways to eat healthy and not feel hungry that the entire family will love.